What's up, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of the Left to Right podcast. It's just me and Vaughn today, man. What's up, Vaughn?
Hi.
Nobody responded.
That sucks.
I think it'll be a good episode though. Me and Vaughn, like the one episode where it was just me, Neary, and Marty. That was one good ass episode. Like it was an actual pretty good episode. But
For
with
real.
all of that, with that said, let's move on to the first topic, which is Emmanuel Macron. So my election prediction was that Macron was going to get reelected by 8 points. That's what I said. What did you say?
I said that I just pointed out the fact that France hadn't reelected a president in like 30 years. So I thought Le Pen would win like very narrowly, but I'm happy that she didn't.
Yeah, but Macron won by 17 points, got 58.5% of the vote, which is an 8-point drop from 5 years ago in 2017, where Macron got 66% of the vote and Le Pen got 33. So what are your thoughts on this, Vaughn?
Well, that drop in points is not a good sign for the future of France, but good news that he won, because like if he didn't, France would be like just like it would not be good. But that 5-point drop doesn't look good for the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I completely see it.
Like in 5 years, like if the margins like keep dropping and like whatever party Le Pen's in like keeps making gains, like that could be a very bad thing. But
I completely agree.
Yeah, good thing that he won for now. Hopefully this doesn't have hopefully it doesn't happen, but most likely this is not a good sign for the future of France.
Yeah, no, it's kind of scary. What happened? Because Macron is just like a much better candidate compared to Le Pen. Like they both have their negatives, but I think that Macron is a lot better than
Yeah, I agree.
Le Pen.
Le Pen.
With that said, we move on to the next topic. You definitely have something to say about that. New York's gerrymandered congressional map was tossed by a New York court. It was heavily gerrymandered. It had 13 solid Democrat districts, 7 competitive Democrat districts, 2 toss-up districts, and then 4 solid Republican districts. What do you think about that?
Well, I knew the map was gonna get struck down anyway. Because okay, unfair gerrymandering is against the state constitution, right? And Cuomo, because Republicans had the majority in the state Senate for a while, Cuomo had to appoint more moderate judges so that they would get through. So those moderate judges came back to bite Democrats in the ass a little bit. But I think it was a good thing in the end because that map was actually frightening. Like it was a very ugly map. And now, with one of the proposed maps, there's a red district in Brooklyn. And that's like a good map. Like I'm not even gonna lie, like I like that map. And because there's that red district in Brooklyn, the possibility of Congressman Curtis Sliwa, that's a thing now. It's possible for Congressman Curtis Sliwa.
Which district?
I don't remember the number, but it's like in Brooklyn. It's like a red district, like on like the southern part of New York City. So that it's pretty cool. I forget the number, but very nice. I'm surprised they got a red district in Brooklyn, but it's more of like it's one of like the less blue counties in or boroughs, I guess, in New York City, even though it's still solid blue. It's still one of like the lesser blue ones.
The map is just disgusting.
That old one is bad.
Like I'm just looking at it right now on 538. Like it's so bad, and you could clearly tell it's gerrymandered. Like clearly.
The Hulkamander is bad. One of the proposed, like, there's like 3 proposed maps that are on 538, I think, and one of them is really good. It's pretty fair. It has like it has a good number of like solid red, solid blue, and a nice amount of competitive. So it looks very nice. I'd say that one is probably the most likely to get passed, in my opinion. That's the one being shared around the most, like on the internet and everything. So it's probably gonna pass. So hope it does. It's a very nice map.
Yeah, and that could make Curtis Sliwa, Congressman Sliwa.
Congressman Sliwa. That would be the best. That would actually be so great. I would. I also hope, bro. That would be amazing. But yeah, the map getting struck down like wasn't really much of a surprise, but like the fact it was even introduced, to be honest, like, bro, how are you gonna introduce a map that looks like that? Like, you for real just grabbed a blue crayon and just started scribbling. And you're like, all right, New York City, we just gotta make this solid red. Let's pair Staten Island with a solid blue area. Right. And then let's just like draw like a bunch of tiny lines in New York City. Like, bro, it's so bad. But
that's just New York for you. New York has really bad politics, and you know what? Sucks for you for living there. I'm glad I don't live in New York.
Listen. In 2022, our politics won't be as bad. The map getting struck down is just another example of Democrats just like getting like screwed over this year. Like in New York, especially. First, it was Brian Benjamin. Also, speaking of that, Kathy Hochul is trying to hide Brian Benjamin's name. She's doing like a backroom deal right now, apparently. And she's trying to get his name off the ballot because it's still on the ballot. So she's trying to like hide his name from it.
That's funny.
Found that out in a Swozy ad. So that's
if he's telling the truth.
If he's telling the truth, which he might be, which he probably is, because like he can't just be like, oh yeah, this totally fake thing. Like you can't, because that would be defamation. So he can't do that. But if he's telling the truth, that's insane.
That because like everything that he's done, like the fact that he was literally handpicked by Hochul to be the next lieutenant governor, and then he did that, like that's just a bad omen for her. And he could genuinely
this will either hurt her in the
career.
primary really badly, or it'll just hurt her in the general, because right now she's pretty much the favorite to win the primary, because Swozy, although he's the best Democrat running, he needs a social media manager. Have you seen his TikTok account?
I have seen some of them, and
it's
I actually reached out. I actually reached out to be a social media manager, but they said no because I'm from Nevada.
I could reach out to be a social media manager.
You probably should. And you know what else you should probably do?
I should be Lee Zeldin's too, because he's not doing he's doing a lot better than I would expect him to do.
I don't know. I think Rob Astorino has a pretty good social media team.
I agree with that. Rob Astorino, all the Republicans running besides Giuliani, like have pretty good social media teams. Like at least all the major ones,
Yeah. With that said, let's move on to the next topic. So there was a debate this week for the Georgia Republican primary. In case you didn't know, David Perdue and Brian Kemp are running against each other. And David Perdue's first statement in the debate was the 2020 election was rigged and stolen. What do you think about that?
That was like his only statement, like the whole time too. That's all he was talking about, bro. Like it's sad. Like, and he looks like so, like, what has he been doing? Like since he lost in 2020, like he looks like it's insane. Cause like he looks weird. Like he looks like his hair. It didn't look right in the debate. Like he looked like he had lost a lot of hair for some reason. But anyways, that's all he was talking about like the whole time was, oh yeah, the 2020 election, that was stolen, y'all. Like that's all he was saying the whole time. And like his like in his accent, like his southern accent compared to Brian Kemp's was very funny to me because Purdue barely even has an accent. I thought that was funny. But you know, it was just like Purdue is like he's kind of like Oz. Like he kept bringing up Trump because he knows that he won't win. That's about it, honestly. Like Purdue's bad. Kemp
Purdue
better.
is very bad.
Kemp better, bro.
Kemp is a lot better. And like I watched the debate and they're literally the exact same. Like they have the exact same policies on basically virtually everything. It's just the one thing that Brian Kemp didn't do was voter 2020 election, just everything surrounding
He
it. And
didn't
that's
overturn the election, folks, so he is bad.
Uh-huh.
And it was so cringe watching it because I was watching it today. And really, it's just them it's just Brian Kemp roasting David Perdue like the whole time.
Yeah, there's this TikTok that I'm going to post.
That
David
was
Perdue
so
said,
good.
I beat John Ossoff. And then Brian Kemp's like, if you beat John Ossoff, why aren't you a U.S. Senator? And I'm like, that's funny as hell.
That's funny, bro. Kemp was like destroying him. Purdue's so bad.
Because they have the exact same policy. It's just the fact is, all David Perdue has to attack is everything dealing with the 2020 election.
Yeah.
And Brian Kemp has so much to attack him on. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah. And then Perdue also said, and Kemp has 20 years of experience in government. Like Perdue isn't an insider. Like Purdue was like on a national level. Kemp has only been on a statewide level. Like, but you know,
it's never been national. And I also want to point something out. In the most recent poll that came out on this election, Brian Kemp is beating Purdue by 13.8 points on average from January 19th to April 26th.
Because he's like a good governor, nobody really cares that Georgia went blue once because they know it's going to go red next time. So, like, who cares, bro? Move on. You are a sad, sad little man.
It's literally David Perdue's only campaign platform. Kind of like, and I hate to do this, but there was a debate in the Pennsylvania Republican primary, kind of like Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz's only campaign platform is, I'm endorsed by Donald Trump, so you should vote for me. That's not going to get you votes. That's just a horrible way to try and get votes.
Before his campaign was like so bad too. Like, I have no idea why Trump would endorse Dr. Oz of all people. Like everyone else on that stage was like, is so much better than Oz.
Literally. Maybe
McCormick's
besides
really
Barnett
good.
And Sands.
Barnett is like, Barnett and Sands are actually like insane. Like Sands is interesting because I don't know how to feel about her. But Barnett was for real just being like attacking people for like saying just normal things. Like you could say, yeah, today I ate a sandwich, and Barnett would be like, what were you thinking about when you were eating the sandwich? I was thinking this is a very good sandwich. So you're saying that you weren't thinking about President Trump and all those amazing patriots that voted for him. See, this is why these people are not qualified to be your next senator, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Like that's literally her like the whole time. Like she's like a Trump like fangirl, bro.
I'm surprised she didn't get the endorsement strictly because of that.
For real. Dude, I'm surprised that Sands didn't get it, honestly, because she like was in the Trump administration.
I know, that kind of surprised me too.
Or McCormick, at least.
You know what else
McCormick
surprised me?
What else surprised you, Zane?
Ron DeSantis being an idiot. Well, I don't know. This actually might not be that bad of an idea, but he signed a bill that created a police force for voter fraud and other election crimes. What do you think about that?
I'm not sure how to feel about it. Honestly,
I'm not sure either, because like it could be a good thing, It could be.
It depends. It depends on like how this is executed, because it doesn't sound too good just creating more police forces. Personally, like it doesn't sound good just like
I mean, I guess
putting.
it's like a good idea to just like make sure the elections are more secure. And I think by doing that and having like a police force could be a good thing. But on the other hand, it's a waste of tax dollars. And
Yeah, and
that's
it seems heavily authoritarian for some reason. Like it's like those police officers need to watch you vote. That just seems weird.
just get regular police officers to watch you vote.
For real. I don't understand this really. Like I don't really get the point of this. Like he's acting like there was massive fraud and like Florida was like stolen from Trump when Florida went to Donald Trump. Like why do you need this? You love like re-elections like in the bag. Like I don't understand this. Like he's like this is like a combat election fraud or whatever. Like Florida is not voting Democrat for a while. If that's like your goal here, like the goal is like no, they can't. No, because Democrats will steal elections. Like Democrats haven't won in Florida in a very long time at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like the last time a Democrat won in Florida, I believe it was
20
Barack Obama. I believe it was
or
Obama.
statewide, the Nikki girl.
Oh, Freed, yeah.
Because
But
she's the only statewide person that's elected right now.
oh, she's so bad.
And she's the only one. So I guess like that's it. So that was what, 2018. It was all Republican 2020. And
Yeah.
I think the same is expected to happen in 2022.
Like 2022, Florida is just gonna be like the Florida Senate seat is basically solid red at this point. Governor, like the gubernatorial election, depending on who's nominated, that'll probably be safe Republican.
If it's Nikki, it's safe Republican.
If it's Nikki, it's safer. Like she's trying to like tote that like, oh, I'm the only Democrat who's won statewide. Like nobody cares. Like
Exactly. That
the
you know why
position
I
that you were
thought you know
elected
why I
to
said that
is
earlier,
so,
because that's all she brings up, which is why I knew it.
bro. The position that she was elected to is so irrelevant. Like, what does she do again? She's like a farming something.
Like agriculture commissioner.
Yeah, exactly. Like you
Okay.
like you're not
Here's a
useful.
definition of it. Elected to 4-year mandate, the Commissioner of Agriculture is charged with supporting and regulating Florida's agriculture industry, conserving soil and water resources, managing state forests, protecting consumers from unfair trading practice, and ensure the safety and wholesomeness of food in the marketplace. So it's basically just a Secretary of Agriculture, just on a state level.
Yeah, you're useless. You're actually useless. You serve no purpose.
Literally.
I don't understand why Florida elects cabinet officials.
Nevada elects some cabinet officials, and Nevada elects attorney general. Nevada elects treasurer.
Dude,
That's about it.
New York elects attorney general, and that's about it. Like that this is like wild because I was researching that like if people can run for Secretary of State of like New York, you
yeah,
can't.
that's another one for Nevada, Secretary of State.
Yeah. I know the only states that let you like because I was researching this a while ago to see like which states let you run even though like you're not a resident of the state, because I'm gonna do a plug here. I'm running for Secretary of State of South Carolina as a write-in candidate because you don't need to live in the state to run.
Left or right does not endorse this.
Wow, that's just racism, honestly. I think you just hate black women because now I identify as a black woman.
Okay, let's just move on. So this is probably the biggest news. Screw everything else. Elon Musk freaking bought Twitter. He just straight up bought it. Twitter accepted the deal. $44 billion. What do you think about that?
W.
I know. It's literally just a straight up W.
That's great, bro. Like I like all these people overreacting to it. Like he's gonna like save democracy or he's gonna like destroy democracy. Like, bruh, it's Twitter. Calm your asses down. It is Twitter, my guy. It's not going to destroy democracy. It's literally an app that I could like delete off my phone in like 2 seconds. Like, it doesn't matter that much, right? It's cool that he bought it because now, because now like there's not going to be as much censorship on like social media, and that's cool. That's cool, right? But then again, it's Twitter. Like, it's not like, see, like with Jeff Bezos buying like the Washington Post so that way he can make biased stories about himself. Like, that's different. This is like Twitter. This is just like a place where like a tweet that I saw one time was, "What if boobs farted?" Right? Like, it's like it doesn't matter that much, but like it's cool that he bought it, but like it's not gonna destroy democracy and it's not gonna save democracy. Plus, like people who like love
Trump ain't
Elon,
even coming back. Like,
yeah, Trump's not even coming back, bro. Like, what's the point at this point? Uh, but Elon Musk said like a cool thing where he was like, "Yeah, the far left is being really mean to me and all, and that's not really cool." And then he said, but I don't really like the far right either. We should have no." He's like, "The far left hate
and then he
everybody,
told the AOC to
including
stop
themselves."
flirting, stop hitting on him.
Dude, I'd love to see that. Because we were talking about Nikki Fried earlier. You know about like her sex tape?
No, I did not know about that.
She made a tweet where she like made a rumor about herself, so that way she could get on the news.
Oh boy.
Where she said, "No, there isn't a sex tape," but like nobody was talking about a sex tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my opinion is, screw the Nikki Fried sex tape, right? Elon Musk and AOC on the other
Okay.
hand.
With all of that said, let's move on to the. Well, this is your favorite segment of the entire show, so I'll
Is
let
it
you say it.
is it is it time?
It's time.
Is it time for the Fauci hour?
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines.
Gabagool.
Dr. Fauci.
Give us vaccines.
Dude, that thing goes so hard. I think one day, well, actually, the Fauci hour is probably going to die soon, unfortunately, as COVID slowly comes to an end. Fauci hour slowly dies.
Nah, bro, he's gonna try to stay relevant. He's gonna be like, "Actually, guys, COVID, while it may have disappeared, it is no longer in our
Well,
lives."
have you heard about that new bird flu strain? That new bird flu strain could literally change America.
Bruh, I swear to God, if
That
this
could be the new pandemic.
bro, I hate Dr. Fauci. I don't want to see this old ass, dumb ass, motherfucking Italian ass.
Okay, let's
Google
just
Chrome
like talk
extra
about what he said
chromosome.
though. Let's talk about what he said before we go into hating him.
Yeah.
So he said that the US is out of the pandemic phase, but then later on the exact same day, in case you didn't hear me, I said Fauci said that the US is out of the pandemic phase. But then later that day on another interview said, we certainly cannot say that the pandemic is over. Huh?
This just proves that I'm right every single time. Like, I was literally going on a rant about this last time. Where he like says one thing and then he immediately changes his mind. See, I'm just so good that I'm right every time. Because the last time I said this, right? And it's very funny. It's very funny that I'm always right. And everybody else who disagrees with me is wrong. But we're not going to talk about some things where I have been wrong because I've never been wrong. But Fauci is not a surprise that he like literally changed his mind with like in a day, in the same day, right? Like that was probably like, within minutes. He's like, "Yeah, you guys, the pandemic, that's almost over. You can kiss that goodbye." And then like after that interview, he realized, "Oh wait, if the pandemic ends, I'm not really as important as I should. No, I'm not as important as I have been, like the past like 3 years.
He still has
This is
that
not
Disney Plus
good."
documentary.
Oh yeah, that Disney Plus documentary. Oh geez.
That thing's a work of art, man. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I know, right? It's so pro democracy. I love it, bro. Hashtag Latinx. He no, but like he realized after that interview, he's like, wait, if there's no more pandemic, I'm really not as useful as I've been, and I have no purpose in life. So then the same interview was like, actually, guys, the pandemic it's worse than ever.
Yeah.
Everybody is dying everywhere. All of us are dead. I'm actually dead right now. I'm just a holographic projection, right? Like that's what he'd be like sometimes. That's what he's like. He's like, yeah, the pandemic, it's almost over. But then he's like, no, my job though. He's desperate, bro. Like
He
honestly,
really
he's
is, because it's how he makes his money. And you know what?
it's how he makes
That's
his
how he
money.
makes his money.
He's the
And
most paid government individual. Like that's insane to me. Like he doesn't do shit
he just
besides
says
like
stupid things. Served on the literally got name recognition because of coronavirus. It's been a while since you heard it called coronavirus, isn't it? Like, holy bro, who even calls it that anymore? I don't even know why that
I've
just slipped
never
out of my
heard
mouth.
anyone call. I haven't heard anyone call it coronavirus in a while. It's always COVID or anything.
I know. And I just called it the coronavirus. That's why I just thought that was weird.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know how to feel.
But anyways, let's move on to the final topic, which is the next segment of, we're just gonna call it prediction time for now until we come up with a more creative name.
Welcome to prediction time. Why don't you suck on this dick, baby?
Okay,
Let's go.
Okay, so with that said, there are primary elections this week. We're going to be covering a few races on Tuesday live on my YouTube channel at 4 p.m. Pacific time for the Ohio and Indiana primary. So we're going to start off in the state of Ohio. First off, with the governor primary. First off, the Republican primary. There are three candidates: Joe Blystone, Mike DeWine, and Jim Renacci, that are in the running to win. And I'm going to make my prediction first. You can make your prediction next. I think DeWine's going to kick butt. Nobody else has a shot. He's literally leading in the polls by like 16 points. DeWine will stay the Republican nominee for governor of Ohio.
I agree. It'll probably be DeWine, but if it's not DeWine, which it likely will be anyway, but if DeWine just like dies on election day, like if he dies like the day before the primary or the day of the primary, it'll be Renacci. But most likely will be DeWine, unless he just dies.
All righty. And then comes the Democrat primary. Former mayor of Cincinnati, John Cranley, and then the former mayor of Dayton, Nan Whaley, are going head to head it's actually a kind of competitive primary. There have only been 3 polls. 2 of them, Nan Whaley's been in the lead, and the other one they were tied. I'm going to make my prediction. Actually, no, I'll let you go first. What do you think?
What's the mayor of Cleveland's name again?
You mean Cincinnati?
Yeah, Cincinnati, sorry.
John Cranley.
Yeah, that's who I'm expecting to win. He's like the only one that I've actually heard about. I didn't even know there was a second candidate in this one. And I had no idea it was competitive, but probably John Cranley. Only one I've heard about, only one I hear people talking about. Even though he is probably the worst person running for that seat right now. He'll probably win because Ohio nominates pretty cringe people most of the time. Like they probably will when they nominate like JD Vance or something. Probably, I don't even know.
Let's
but,
not get there yet. We're not on Senate.
We're not on there. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah,
Cranley. Just say
probably
Cranley.
Cranley.
All right, my guess, I think it'll be Whaley. She's leading in 2 of the polls. I also picked her to be the Democrat nominee in my election video from December. If you remember that election prediction one, do you remember that, Vaughn?
Yes, I do remember that.
I picked her to be the Democrat nominee, and I'm still pretty positive she'll be the Democrat nominee. So that's my prediction. Next up in Ohio is the Senate election. Since Rob Portman, the current guy, retired, there's a very, very competitive Republican primary. Even though Vance has the endorsement of Donald Trump, Josh Mandel and Mike Gibbons still have a chance. Even Matt Dolan now. Matt Dolan just came out of nowhere in the polls
Let's go.
better
Let's
chance
go.
than Jane Timken, believe it or not. So there's basically
Let's
5
go.
candidates. It's
What a
Matt
W,
Dolan,
bro.
JD Vance, Josh Mandel, Mike Gibbons, and Jane Timken. Who do you think will win?
All right. So if it's just since you said that Gibbons and Mandel and Vance, this is what I hope happens. So since they're all doing pretty well in the polls right now, right? I'm thinking it's possible that the Trump supporting vote will be split, and that Dolan could possibly win the primary, but he would
that's what you just want to happen, though, right?
That's just what I want to happen. I think it's possible, but what will most likely happen will be either Mandel or Vance wins. Not sure who, but hopefully what happens is the Trump supporting vote is split and Dolan wins the primary because I like Dolan.
I think it'll be JD Vance just because of the Trump endorsement. That's literally the only reason I have for JD Vance winning. That's literally my only reason.
Dude, he has so much to attack. It's insane.
I know, but literally he's going to win strictly because of the fact he's endorsed by Trump.
Literally.
Then on the Democrat side, there's a progressive named Morgan Harper going against Congressman Tim Ryan. I think this one's going to be pretty easy. Let's just say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1. Tim Ryan. Yep. Yeah. Look at that. There's been one poll.
Prediction.
There's been one poll from this election that had Tim Ryan at 43 and Morgan Harper at 18. I think that says enough.
Yeah. This is my opinion. This is what this primary is going to look like, right? Tim Ryan will get 99.99% of the vote in the Democratic primary, right?
Yeah.
Meaning that he'll get most votes. And then this other lady whose name I haven't heard until today because I was watching TikToks and I saw something about her. She will probably get 1 vote. It'll be herself. This is totally real prediction time.
Now there's a few competitive primaries in Ohio, but we're only going to talk about one of them for Congress. Nina Turner is running for this seat again. In case you don't remember, there was a special election in Ohio's 11th congressional district last year between Shontel Brown and Nina Turner. Shontel Brown won, and now Shontel Brown is running on the endorsement of Biden, Clinton, Sherrod Brown, Nancy Pelosi, and Jim Clyburn. Meanwhile, Nina Turner has all progressive support. Who do you think is going to win, Vaughn?
Shontel Brown.
As you should.
Nina Turner is going to get her ass clapped again, bro. And all the progressives are going to be all mad about it again. It's going to be funny because last time this happened, around last year, last year.
August.
Because I don't know why there was an election there. That was it like a special election?
Marcia Fudge became the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development.
All right. So it was a special election. So basically, Nina Turner got destroyed last time. She said her election was stolen, and all the progressives were like, "Yeah, they stole it." And then they said that Shontel Brown was transphobic or whatever. But bro, it's Ohio. What else is she gonna be, bro? I'm gonna be honest with you. Ohio is bad. It is a very bad state, filled with awful people and very disgusting cities that I hope the only good thing Ohio has is Cedar Point. But
I'm just gonna make my prediction. I think Shontel Brown's gonna win. All right.
Yeah, Shontel Brown.
So there's also a Senate election in Indiana, but the primaries aren't going to be competitive at all because Democrats only have one candidate on the ballot. His name is Tom McDermott, and Republicans only have the incumbent, Todd Young, on the ballot. So it's already pre-predicted. Todd Young will be facing off Tom McDermott in the general, but there is one competitive primary in Indiana. I don't know if you know much about this, so if you don't want to make a prediction about it, I'm all cool with it. But Trey Hollingsworth is the incumbent, and he is retiring in Indiana's 9th congressional district. And as of right now, there are 3 candidates that are in the lead. Mike Sedrell, a former U.S. representative for this seat, Aaron Hochin, an Indiana state senator, and Stu Barnes Israel, a former not congressman. He was a veteran in the Army. I'm going to say it first. If you want to piggyback off of me, that's okay. I think Mike Sidrell is going to win just because he was an old congressman in the seat. And that's pretty much how politics works nowadays. With that said, that is the end of the episode. So just remember, we'll be live on Tuesday. So tune into that. And thank you guys so much for watching. See you next week.